Hey guys, impaKt here. In this video I'll be talking about the upcoming Summoner spell changes in Season 4. I think Riot has done a phenomenal job of balancing out Summoner spells, and everyone will have a lot more options at their disposal from here on out. First I'll give you a rundown of the spell changes, and then I'll analyze what it may mean for current and future support players as well. Ghost's cooldown now decreases as time goes on, and instead of giving you a flat percentage in movement speed increase, it now multiplies your movement speed. So for instance, if you have movement speed increasing items, runes or masteries, your Ghost will speed you up even further. It will also give you 75% multiplicative movement speed in the first second of its activation. This means that Ghost will now scale better into the late game, especially on champions with native movement speed buffs like Udyr, Skarner, Evelynn, Singed and so on. Taking Ghost may indeed be the better option if your intention is to chase down your targets, while Flash will probably remain the crowd favorite for clutch escapes and skill shot dodging like Malphite's or Jarvan's ultimates. Ignite's damage has been rescaled based on game time. It also reveals the target for the duration of the spell. While it may not sound like much, it'll completely change the way Ignite is used right now. It will no longer be as powerful as it was in early game situations, so going for early game cheese or aggression may not be as easy. However, since it now grants sight of the target, there are a few new ways you can actually use it for. For example, you now know if the enemy who is ignited will die or not, or even how he is positioning, so you can try going for the killing blow. It may also be really helpful against the sorts of Evelynn, champions with stealth mechanics or that can escape easily. Gone are also the days when Exhaust was used to nullify carries completely. The attack speed reduction was reduced to 30% from 50%, and the movement speed reduction was also rescaled, so it actually reduces the enemy's movement speed even further as time goes on. While 30% is still a significant number, and it will still hurt the likes of Jax and Tryndamere in the top lane or any non-caster AD carry, it seems like it is now a more suitable tool for kiting and peeling front lines. After Ghost, I think Heal has changed the most. First of all, it is now a targeted spell. If you cast it on yourself, you'll target yourself and your closest ally. The cast range was also increased by 300 points, the cooldown was reduced to 180 seconds, and it also grants an extra 30% movement speed buff to both targets. Since it is no longer AoE, I don't think it's as good in a team fight as it used to be. However, it may prove to be even better during the laning phase. I should also point out that this will probably save both the AD carries and the support's life in case of ganks, since it also grants movement speed as well as a heal now. It may be one of the best options for supports that lack sustain in their kits. It's also a great option for supports that are looking to play the peeling or protector role in teamfights. Teleport's cooldown has been reduced when targeting an allied building, and it was increased when cancelled or interrupted. Teleporting to a tower may not be the best option because you may take longer to reach the teamfight, but it'll allow you to have your teleport available sooner than before. This is why I think that it may become one of the best options when playing against a split pusher as well. However, since the cooldown will be longer when you choose to teleport to a ward, for instance, joining fights for Dragon or Baron or even ganking bottom lane may not be as rewarding. Using the spell while laning may also end up in its cancellation, so laning against an opponent with crowd control may be one of its main dangers. Cleanse was also buffed. If you successfully cleanse an effect that prevents you from moving, you'll now create a shockwave that knocks nearby enemies back. It now provides means to not only remove a crowd control effect from you, but it may also be used to cancel or interrupt skills like Zack's elastic slingshot. Have you ever noticed the amount of cancels you can pull off with a Thrashed Flay? Yep, this can work as something similar. While I'm a huge fan of knockups and knockbacks, I can't help but think what Vayne players will be able to pull off now that they have an extra disengaging tool at their disposal. Boy, is this list long. Surprise! SMITE has also been changed. Its cooldown was actually reduced to 40 seconds, and it now deals less damage in early character levels, but it'll deal the same damage at level 18. Why, you may ask? I'm thinking the lower cooldown on SMITE actually helps champions that need it more often in order to maintain a good clear speed, thus resulting in a greater champion pool available to every jungler. This may also change the dynamics of Dragon and Baron fights, or even counter jungling. Believe it or not, back in Season 1 it was actually quite normal to see jungle Evelynn take revive. However, it slowly died out and stopped being used in Summoner's Rift from Season 2 onwards. This actually led Riot to remove the Summoner spell from the Summoner's Rift entirely, making it a Dominion-only option. Clarity was also considered one of the most underwhelming spells in Summoner's Rift, so it is now a Howling Abyss-only option. As I was writing the script for this video, I was thinking to myself, there are a lot of decent options here. And I do think that Riot has done a great job of making most summoner spells viable. If their intention was to open up options to every League of Legends player, I think they totally nailed it. Flash remains untouched, and it will probably still be one of the top summoner spell picks. However, Ghost is now a pretty decent alternative to gap closing and escaping. It will, however, depend on what enemies you're playing against. Time will tell if it's just not too good. Supports also have a lot of options here. Flash remains one of the best summoner spells to get, but Heal seems to have hit the sweet spot as well. I do think that most supports will still pick Flash over Ghost, but I can see a few situations where Ghost may be the better option. Ignite will probably still be the best choice for kill lanes, Heal will be providing a safer laning phase, and Exhaust can also be picked up when facing slippery champions. With the introduction of Scrying Orb, I feel like Clairvoyance is now somewhat redundant as well. You can cast it where you please, and it lasts for a longer period of time than the Orb. It has a short cooldown, so if you're looking for some extra vision over the enemy team, you may want to consider taking it as your second summoner spell. However, if you do so, remember that both your laning phase and teamfight utility will be lacking because of it. Make sure to pick it up when you're absolutely sure you're going to need it. And if you like the changes, if you think you'll be able to use them in a way that I didn't mention, or if you have anything to say at all, feel free to use the comment section down below. I look forward to hear what you guys have to say about these changes. That is all for this episode of First Impressions. I know I usually mention my stream at the end of every video, but it would mean a lot to me if you guys could follow it and tune in every once in a while. It would really help me out. I'll leave a link in the description as well. Maybe I'm even streaming right now. As always, don't forget to thumbs up, to subscribe to my channel and Base Desires channel, and to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. So good luck, have fun, and until next video.